Hello. Today I am going to be working on Grande Tambor, getting him ready for the Pennsylvania, what's it called, the NERC Franklin Institute competition. So last competition I actually burned out my weapon motor. I explained that in an earlier video, but so I have to replace this motor. I got a replacement of the same one that I got. This is a Turnigy 3530 Outrunner brushless motor, but I actually have to take it apart and modify it a little bit so it'll fit on this 3/8 inch titanium shaft. And let me see if I can take it apart for you. So yeah, here's the original part taken apart. Here's the magnet casing, and it's kind of blurry. There we go. And the stator. So you can tell that the original hole on there is actually smaller. It's actually, I think it's 4 millimeters. This shaft is 4 millimeters, but it has to fit onto this 3/8. So I'm going to actually put it either on a lathe or a mill. I haven't decided yet. Probably the lathe, to bore out a 3/8 inch hole right here. I don't think I really need to modify it. Well, I don't need another one of these because the old magnet casing is fine. You can actually tell that I put some epoxy in there to keep the magnets all nice and snug, and that seemed to work out pretty well. None of the magnets have broke or anything, so it looks like it's still good. Maybe if I want to just have another one, an extra for a spare or something, then I'll get around to doing that, but besides that I don't really need to. Okay, alright, time to start working. Alright, so first of all, I have to get these bearings out of the stator. These guys are right here. There's another one on this side. So in order to do that, I'm just going to take this bolt and a hammer and just, wow, this is really zoomed in. This hammer and a bolt, and just kind of stick the bolt in there, knock them out from each side. So it turns out that they've changed the design of these since the last time I bought one, and the hole in the middle of it is actually bigger than it used to be. So it's actually just barely too big. Like, you can hardly even tell that it's a little bigger than the shaft, but it is a little bigger. So pretty much what I'm going to do is not worry about changing the hole, which is kind of nice, I guess, and just put like some stickers on the shaft to make it a little bit wider at that point. So it seems like it'll work out pretty well. Anyways, now what I have to do now is take off this copper part right here. I have to take off most of this. So I'm just going to put it on the lathe and then just kind of cut around this little area right here until this whole circle part falls off. Alright, I'm going to do that now. Ta-da! So I ran into a problem, something that I overlooked in my design actually. So I cut everything out, and it turns out that the wheels, or the holes where the drive motors go, are not completely centered. Here, I'll give you a look. It's not very obvious, but down here is actually, hang on. Let's get it to focus. Yeah, so down here is actually, there's more space down here than up here. It's not too big of a deal. I think that I could still use it maybe as like a spare part. But I'd like, because the problem with that is if I'm upside down, then there's a chance that I'll be actually dragging the back of my robot on the ground, which would be very bad, and I wouldn't really be able to move while I'm upside down. So I changed the design on my computer, and right now I'm cutting it out on the bandsaw. But one thing that actually helped a lot was putting these center lines in the design as well, because it helps it to be able. It helps it whenever you're centering the piece on the mini mill over there. So that actually helped. I'm hoping it's going to be able to help out a lot, especially whenever I'm cutting out this piece and this piece. These ones you don't have to be that precise because I'm just using them as lightning holes. So, anyways, here we go. Ta-da! Hello. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I didn't know about until a couple weeks ago. This little tool. This is called a center finder. And so basically what you do is you have a little mark on your piece of where you want to make the center. Then you put this point into the center and then adjust the table wherever it needs to be until this is actually, until you can't really feel any difference of where the, basically, so this lines up perfectly straight. So like you can see that it's offset right now, so that would mean if it was in the piece and offset like that, then you would need to adjust it until it got more centered. Yeah, so that's a pretty cool little tool that I just learned about, and it makes sure that your mill piece is actually complete, or that the pinion is right over the piece of work that you're working on. Alright, well I got the pieces cut out, and there they are attached to, or I guess it's just the side pieces, but it's looking pretty nice. Everything's nice and centered this time, and just needs a back piece now. I gotta make a new back piece. My old one's kind of torn up. Doesn't have the drum on it yet, of course. I'm still waiting on that to come in the mail. I sent it off to get precision machined at a shop up in Illinois. So hopefully that'll get in here pretty soon and then I can put it all together. Cool.